the attorneys place their appearances on the record.
Chris, I'm appearing on behalf of the people.
All right, and as I was calling the case, we lost Ms. Underwood, so we'll give her a minute to see if she gets logged back in. Okay, I believe we have Ms. Underwood back with us now. Ms. Underwood, you're on mute, so you'll need to unmute your device.
There we go. Thank you.
Okay, so Ms. Underwood, you want to place your appearance on the record?
Rhonda Underwood for Mr. Verlinde this morning, Your Honor. We would ask that the court continue the not guilty pleas in this matter. Your Honor, I believe there's an ongoing investigation that we have to be cognizant of, and we would ask that this matter be adjourned out for 2 weeks.
Okay, I'm sorry, did you say 2 weeks?
Yes, thank you.
Sergio, could you go grab the yellow folder before we take it down? All right, so 2 weeks would be the 28th of February.
Thank you,
So
Your
we'll
Honor.
set February 28th at 8:15. Ms. Underwood, would you do a stipulation in order for the adjournment?
I would be happy to do that with Mr. Fleming's permission.
Absolutely. You can sign my name as well. That'd be great.
Thank you.
Okay, all right. Mr. Verlinde, you can let the officer with you know that you're done with court for today. Okay, Mr. Daly, I just sent a request for Mr. Berger Ellis. And Mr. Glazier and Mr. Daly, we have Gage Winsett and Kenyatta Silvertooth on today. Did you want to do both of those together, or what's the status of those?
However the court wants to do it, Judge.
Yeah,
Okay.
It doesn't matter, Your Honor.
All right. No, Ms. Underwood, Mr. Balker is not logged in.
Thank you. He may
Mr.
be coming in person.
Okay, Mr. Fry, I do have Raymond Glaze here. Do you need a breakout session with him?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, we are on the record in file 22-21136-FH, People versus Raymond Joseph Glaze. We are here today for a pretrial conference in this case. We are proceeding today by video conference. First, can I have the attorneys place their appearance on the record, beginning with Mr. Hartung.
Thank you, Your Honor. Doug Hartung for the people today.
Brian Fry, attorney for Raymond Glaze.
Okay, Mr. Fry, where do we stand with Mr. Glaze's case today?
Yeah, Your Honor. So Mr. Hartung and myself are just putting the finishing touches on a plea agreement, I believe. So we would just ask the court to set a hearing to enter a plea. It doesn't necessarily have to be on a Wednesday, just when the court has available.
Is Friday too soon?
Your Honor, it is for me because I have that trial near the court still.
Oh, yeah, sorry, okay. Okay, how about next week, February 21st at 8:15?
I can do that, Your Honor.
That's fine with me.
Okay, so February 1st, 8:15, 21st, 8:15. Mr. Fry, would you do a stipulation in order for that adjournment?
I can do that. Mr. Hartung, can I sign your name to that with your
Yes.
permission?
Yes.
Okay, so Mr. Glaze, you're all set. Your next date is February 21st, a week from today at 8:15.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm here. Need anything?
How you doing?
Okay, Mr. Daly, do you need a breakout session with Mr. Berger Ellis?
No, Your Honor.
Actually, sir, can I have one, please? I need to speak to him about something.
Okay, I can do that 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, we are on the record now in file 19-19274-FH and 24-21706-FH, Bull versus Michael Henry Berger Ellis. The 2019 case is set for a probation violation. The 24 case is set for a pretrial hearing. So let me ask the attorneys to place their appearance on the record, beginning with Mr. Fleming.
Perez, Fleming, appearing on behalf of the people.
James Daly on behalf of the defendant.
All right, and Mr. Daly, where do we stand with Mr. Berger Ellis's cases today?
Your Honor, Miss Arnold and myself are working out an agreement on this. We've got it worked out. We still have to put the rest of the pieces together. I've got to go over and explain it again to Mr. Berger Ellis, but we have an agreement in principle to resolve this matter. We should be able to resolve it as soon as Miss Arnold is ready, either next week or the week after.
Okay, let's set it then for February 28th. February 28th at 8:15 a.m.
Thank you, Chris.
Mr. Daly, would you be willing to do a stipulation in order for the 24 file?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Berger Ellis, you can let the officer there know that you are done with court, and if Randy Torres is available, we would take him next.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mr. Dagger Margosian, Mr. Taylor is logged in. Do you need a breakout session with him?
I don't think I do, Your Honor.
All right. We have Mr. Taylor in the meeting now. His audio is not connected yet. Okay, Mr. Taylor, are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, we are on the record then in file 22-21115-FH. People versus Dante Roy Taylor. We are here today for a pretrial conference in this case, and we are proceeding today by video conference. First, let me ask the attorneys to place their appearances on the record, beginning with Mr. Fleming.
Perez, so I'm going to appear on behalf of the people.
Your Honor, Michael Dagger Margosian for Mr. Taylor.
All right, and we are here today for a final pretrial conference. This matter is set for trial March 6th and 7th. Are we ready to proceed to trial?
Your Honor, I think this is for an alleged bond violation. It may also be a final settlement conference, but I think that's why we scheduled this for today.
No, I'm sorry, you're right. So this was, the final pretrial isn't set till February 28th.
It was my understanding he was supposed to appear in person.
That was never stated. It's not accurate.
Back on January 31st, our notes indicate you ordered him to appear in person on that day, today.
No.
All right, give me a moment to check the court's notes. So our court notes in the Register of Actions doesn't indicate anything about requiring Mr. Taylor to appear in person. He does live in Florida, and so I kind of doubt that I would have said that, given the circumstances. So sir, you are Dante Roy Taylor, correct?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Taylor, have you received a copy of the summons for show cause?
No, sir.
All right. It alleges that you failed to comply with the court order by losing your SoberLink device and not having test results. The maximum penalty for a contempt of court is up to 93 days of jail or $7,500 in fines. You have the right to be represented by an attorney, and obviously Mr. Dagmar-Gosian is here, represents you on the underlying charges, and I believe is representing you with respect to this issue as well. Mr. Dagmar-Gosian, how does Mr. Taylor wish to proceed with respect to this?
Well, Your Honor, probably what I'd like to do is set this for a hearing based on the information and understanding I have from Mr. Taylor is that he, as I've if the court would recall, I've let this court know that Mr. Taylor has had this case has been pending for about a year, maybe more. He's had issues with these devices. He's spent thousands upon thousands of dollars in replacing it. He's resubmitted test results since the date of when it's alleged that he has tested. So I don't think there's anything other than setting this for a hearing if the violation won't be dismissed today.
All right, so I will say a correspondence from Mr. Coast in pretrial services that indicates that Mr. Taylor has been doing well and not missed any tests since he got his device replaced. What I'll do is set this out for the same date as the final pretrial settlement conference on February 28th. And if we don't have any issues between now and then, I'd be willing to dismiss it at that time.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Taylor, you can go ahead and log out. Your next date is February 28th at 8:15 a.m. You'll need to log in with all the same Zoom information that you used today.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Glazer, do you need a breakout session with Mr. Torres?
I do not, Your Honor.
All right, we're on the record in files 22-20819-FH, 22-20820-FH, and 23-21668-FH, People versus Randy Torres. The 22 files are set for probation violation hearings. The 23 file is set for a pretrial conference. First, let me ask the attorneys to place their appearances on the record, beginning with Mr. Fleming.
Good morning again, Judge Chris Sullivan, appearing on behalf of people.
Sharon Glazer on behalf of Mr. Torres, Your Honor.
Doug Hartung is here on behalf of the violation of probation hearing only, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. And so, Mr. Glazer, where do we stand with Mr. Torres's cases today?
Your Honor, Mr. Torres has been seen by I think a psychiatrist down at the jail. I don't know if it's a psychiatrist or psychologist, but based upon what has occurred down there, I'm going to ask for a criminal responsibility and competency as well, at least on the new felony. The other ones, I think I can wait and see what happens with that. On the VOPs, it wouldn't make sense, I don't think.
All right, Mr. Fleming, anything you want to say with respect to the 23 file?
In respect to the 23 file, Judge, I have no basis to, argue against that. People would not object to that at this time. Mr. Glazier knows his client.
All right, and Mr. Hartung, anything you'd like to say with respect to the 22 files?
No, Your Honor, I think this is the route to go.
Okay. All right, then I will enter orders for evaluation relative to criminal responsibility and competency to stand trial. I will set this out then for a pretrial. I would expect it will probably take at least 60 days to hear anything. So let's go with April 17th at 8:15 a.m. Mr. Glazier, can I ask your office to do stipulation in order for those adjournments?
Yeah, I can do that, Your Honor.
And the competency orders, John,
What's that?
and the competency documents.
Oh, yeah, I'm preparing those as well.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
And you can sign my name to that stip in order to adjourn as well, John.
Mine too, if you want.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Torres, you can let the officer with you that know that you are done with court for today.
All right, thank you.
And if they have Mr. White Eagle available, we take him next.
Hopefully it is.
Hello.
Okay, Mr. Glazer, do you need a breakout session with Mr. White Eagle? You are muted, Mr. Glazer.
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Okay, 1 second. Okay, we are on the record in file 23-21644-FH, People versus John F. Kennedy White Eagle. We are here today for a pretrial conference in this case, and we are proceeding today by video conference. First, let me ask the attorneys to place their appearance on the record, beginning with Mr. Fleming.
Perez Fleming, appearing on behalf of the people.
John Glaze on behalf of Mr. White Eagle.
All right, and Mr. Glazier, where do we stand with Mr. White Eagle's case today?
Your Honor, I had sent a letter to, oh, crap, who did I send it to? To Sarah Teskey. Mr. White Eagle had got kicked out of drug court, and I don't know how long ago it was, maybe a couple of years ago. And I had written to her to see if there's any chance he could get back into drug court, whether they took the person in after they'd been kicked out once, and I haven't got a response from her. But Mr. White Eagle also has a situation where he pled to something down in district court and got a year in jail, but can be released to an inpatient program. I'm going to try to see if I can work out something with these files where that could occur too on these, and maybe I need a couple weeks is all to talk to Sarah again, and also to talk to the prosecutors handling this. I think it's Isaac.
It is Isaac. No objection.
Okay. All right, so we'll do the 2 weeks then. I'll set it for February 28th at 8:15 a.m. Mr. Glazier, would you do a stip in order for that adjournment, please?
Yes, I will, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. White Eagle, you can let the officer with you know that you're done with court for today, and we would take Mr. Winsett if he is available.
Winston?
Correct.
Yes, sir. Have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor, do you know if there's more than one Zoom room at the jail available so that we can do Mr. Silvertooth at the same time?
I will send them an email right now and ask them if that's a possibility.
Thank you.
Go on down here. There he is.
All right, good morning, sir. You're Mr. Winsett?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Daly, do you need a breakout session with Mr. Winsett? If you answered Mr. Daly, you were muted.
No, I do not, Your Honor.
Okay, they did log in a second device, so if you give me a moment here, we'll see if they have Mr. Silvertooth logged in on that device. Mr. Glazer, will you need a breakout session with Mr. Silvertooth?
Not at the moment, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Good morning, sir. You're Mr. Silvertooth? Sir, are you Mr. Silvertooth?
No.
Okay. We are on the record in files 23-21612-FC and 23-21613-FC. The first being People versus Kenyato Taiwan Silvertooth, the second being People versus Gage Michael Winsett. We are here today for a pretrial conference in this case, and we are proceeding today by video conference. First, let me ask the attorneys to place their appearances on the record, beginning with Ms. Wise.
Good morning, Your Honor. Jackie Wise on behalf of the people.
John Glazer on behalf of Mr. Silvertooth.
James Daly on behalf of Defendant Winstead.
Okay, and we do have trial dates scheduled for both of these cases that have been consolidated. So Ms. Wise, where do we stand with the situation today?
We're ready to proceed to trial. We got the transcripts last week. I know Mr. Glazer indicated he wanted to file some motions. So I don't know if the court wants to set some deadlines on filing those or.
Your Honor, I've checked. I do not have the transcript. I don't, Mr. Daly, did you get the transcript?
I've got my transcript and I've already gave a copy to Mr. Winstead.
Okay, for some reason, I don't have a copy in my file. I checked with Leo yesterday and we don't have it, so I'll have to get a copy of that, Your Honor. And I do anticipate, Your Honor, I can't remember how these got consolidated, but after I got thinking about it, I got to look at the transcript, and there may be a witness that would require these to be separated, and I'd have to file a motion on that, as well as a motion to quash, but I have to see the transcripts. And I don't know why I don't have them, but I don't.
I'm forwarding them to you and Leo right now.
All right, so we do have a motion filing deadline set in the prior, or in the scheduling order that's already been issued for April 10th of 2024. I guess, Mr. Glazer, if it's going to be a motion to sever the trials, if you can, I'd like to have that issue resolved as quickly as possible, so that if we need to identify new trial dates for either defendant, we can do that as quickly as possible.
I will, Your Honor, as soon as I have the transcript. I think there's just one witness's testimony that I need to look at.
All right, is there anything else that we need to address with these cases today?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you then, Mr. Winsett and Mr. Silvertooth. You can let the officers with you know that you're done with your hearing. Okay, Mr. Fleming, I think we're otherwise waiting on attorneys for any other cases that we've got. So we're in a holding pattern for a little bit.
Sounds like par for the course. I am here for the long run, Judge. So I'll be here whenever we get a warm body.
Okay.
Thanks, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Murphy, we have, let's see, Lori Williams here. Do you need a breakout session with her?
I don't think so, Your Honor.
Okay, we are on the record in file 23-21660-FH and 23-21661-FH, People versus Lori Ray Williams. We are here today for pretrial conferences in both of those cases. We are proceeding today by video conference. First, can I ask the attorneys to place their appearances on the record, beginning with Mr. Fleming?
Perez, Fleming, appearing on behalf of the people.
Matthew Murphy, appearing on behalf of Ms. Williams.
All right, and Miss, you are Lori Ray Williams?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Murphy, where do we stand with Ms. Williams' cases today?
Your Honor, I was speaking with my client yesterday. I was going to ask if we could set another pretrial if the court would be okay with that and the prosecution wouldn't object. There was some, I guess, evidence I was trying to get a hold of in regards to this case from Ms. Williams. And I was hoping to be able to present that to the prosecutor. Hopefully we can get some resolution in the matter short of trial. If that's, I don't believe the case is super old. I thought it was maybe under 3 months, but that's what we're asking for today if the prosecution wouldn't object.
I don't object to this time, Judge.
All right, let's go with March 13th at 8:15. So March 13th. Mr. Murphy, would you be willing to do that stipulation in order?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything else we need to address with respect to this case today?
Nothing from the defense, Your Honor, I believe. Thank you.
Nothing from the people. Thank you, Judge.
Okay, Ms. Williams, your next date then will be March 13th at 8:15. You'll log in with all the same Zoom information that you used today.
Okay.
Okay, Ms. Williams, just contact my office, schedule appointment like we said before that date, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, and we have, I believe this is Ms. Perez here by telephone. Mr. Murphy, are you going to need a breakout session with Ms. Perez?
Yes, Your Honor, please.
Okay, second.
Hello?
Yes, Ms.
Hello?
Perez?
Yeah, hi. I was almost like I got hold of my phone about to die.
All right, I'm going to put you in a breakout session with Mr. Murphy so that you can talk to him privately, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we are on the record in file 23-21664-FH, People versus Teresa Renee Perez. We are here today for a pretrial conference in this case, and we are proceeding today by video conference. First, let me ask the attorneys to place their appearances on the record, beginning with Mr. Fleming.
Perez Fleming, appearing on behalf of the people.
Matthew Murphy, appearing on behalf of Ms. Perez.
All right, and Miss on the telephone, you are Teresa Perez.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Murphy, where do we stand with Miss Perez's case today?
Excuse me, Your Honor. I was communicating with Ms. McClure about this matter. She had relayed and submitted an amended information relaying that the plea agreement in this matter would involve Ms. Perez pleading to a 1 year maximum possible 1 year misdemeanor, a retail fraud second. At this time, we're just asking for a brief adjournment. I wanted Ms. Perez to come into my office. There were some questions she had to go over, and I think with this her phone's dying and the communications deteriorating right now. So if we could just do that, again, just briefly, I think we'd actually be able to readdress the court within a week or two, whatever fits the court schedule best.
Okay, I can set it for, I guess we can do next week. I can do February 21st at 8:15.
Can we do that, please, Your Honor?
Yeah. Would you do a stip in order, Mr. Murphy?
Yes, Your Honor.
You can sign my name with permission.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, give me just one moment. I want to see if we have prints in this case. I do not see them in our computer system, so I'm going to do an order for fingerprints and send that out as well. Looks like the arresting agency was City of Tecumseh, so Ms. Perez, you'll need to coordinate with them to have your fingerprints taken.
Okay.
All right, so Ms. Perez, you can go ahead and log out. You'll need to log back in next week, February 21st at 8:15 with all the same Zoom information you used today.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Perez, try to schedule an appointment. Probably I'll have time Friday, maybe. Contact my office, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Okay, Mr. Murphy, a breakout session with Mr. Hall.
Yes, Your Honor, please.
1 second.
Judge, who did you say was the arresting agency for Ms. Perez?
City of Tecumseh.
Thank you.
All right, Ms. Underwood, are you there? There we go. Have you had any contact with Mr. Walker yet?
Your Honor, I believe he was supposed to be present in person today per the court's last order.
Give me a moment. Ms. Underwood, are you there? Okay.
Your Honor, I apologize.
All right. So
Your Honor,
we are on record. We are on record in file number 24-21719-FH, People versus James Thomas Walker. We are here today for an arraignment in this case. We are proceeding today by video conference. First, let me ask the attorneys to place their appearances on the record, beginning with Ms. Berta for the People.
Christy Berta from the Attorney General's Office for the People.
Rhonda Underwood for Mr. Bowker this morning, Your Honor. Your Honor, Mr. Bowker, for some reason, Judge Shadler ordered him to be here in person. He is on the phone about 50 miles away, he says, trying to get here. I spoke to Ms. Brenner on this matter. Mr. Bowker paid a $4,000 bond and is trying to get work and make payments, Your Honor. I don't believe Ms. Brenner had any objection to us waiving the reading today and having and adjourning this matter for a pretrial, Your Honor, entering a not guilty plea. What I'd like the court to consider doing is allowing me to put Mr. Bowker on. He's right on my phone, and I believe he could hear us, and we could do an arraignment that way.
Your Honor, I typically have no objection to obviously a waiver of arraignment, but the court did order him to be present in person today. And that's because he's missed several other times and has failed to appear on 2 prior occasions in district court.
Ms. Berta, do you have any confirmation that a payment was made?
Yes, Your Honor. The bond was applied on February 5th, the $4,000 bond.
All right. What I'm going to do is note in the file that Mr. Bowker has 2 prior failures to appear. I'm going to allow Ms. Underwood to provide a waiver of arraignment to the court, and we'll handle the arraignment issue that way. I'll set this for a pretrial conference on March 27th at 8:15.
March 27th at 8 a.m. I thank you so much, Your Honor.
All right. So, Ms. Underwood, I hope that you will convey to Mr. Bowker that he has 2 prior failures to appear, and if there is a future failure to appear, this court will be issuing a bench warrant without any grace period.
You can rest assured that is going to be conveyed instantly, Your Honor. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ms. Berta.
All right. Thank you. Mr. Murphy, are you ready to proceed with Mr. Hall?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, we're on the record in file 23-21592-FH and 23-21593-FH, People versus Hezekiah William Hall. The 592 file is a pretrial hearing as well as a pretrial on contempt of court for failure to appear. The 593 file is the same two issues, pretrial and a pretrial on contempt of court. Let me ask the attorneys to place their appearance on the record, beginning with Mr. Flynn.
Chris, I've been appearing on behalf of the people.
Matthew Murphy, appearing on behalf of Mr. Hall.
All right, and Mr. Murphy, where do we stand with Mr. Hall's cases today?
Yes, Your Honor. I have been communicating with Mr. McCready in regards to Mr. Hall and what the prosecution is willing to offer this matter. Mr. Hall is charged with 1 count of delivery manufacturing methamphetamine, 1 count of weapons, firearms, possession of a short-barreled shotgun, 1 count of felon in possession of a firearm, and 1 count of felony firearm. Mr. McCready indicated he would dismiss the felony firearm, the mandatory 2-year. There is a 3rd habitual notice on the information that was to stay as well. That is on the 1 file ending in 593. The file 592, the distance opposing an officer, that will be as charged in that file. At this time, Mr. Hall, I was going to ask if we could adjourn this matter for just another pretrial so I could have a cops conference scheduled with the court and Mr. McCready. I don't know what the court schedule is like. If the court wants, though, I think we could schedule a trial probably to get an end date on this matter and hopefully have a cops before then. I do believe we'll probably end up having a resolution in this matter. So I don't believe it's ultimately going to go to trial, but we just want to schedule that cops and see what we can get worked out.
All right, I would be available for a Cobb's conference anytime Friday morning, I believe. Give me just a second to make sure of that.
Judge, I'm showing that you have a half-day evidentiary hearing Friday morning.
Okay, so actually, I would have availability tomorrow after about 10 a.m., I think.
I know Mr. McCready is out of the office. Is he couldn't be back tomorrow? Mr. Fleming, do you know?
It looks like he's just out through today. It looks like he should be back tomorrow. So
Your Honor,
for 11 o'clock, I don't think Mr. McCready would have a problem getting to that.
My son has a dentist appointment at 11:30, but could we schedule something in the afternoon via Zoom?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
So if we did like a 2 or 3 o'clock, I could zoom in for that, I believe.
Okay, so let's go with tomorrow then at 3 p.m.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
I'll put it on Dave's calendar, Your Honor.
Okay.
And people would suggest just a pre-trial next Thursday if we could squeeze that in. These cases are getting kind of old.
Yeah, so let's set for February 21st for a pretrial. At that point, we should know what is going to happen.
Yes, Your Honor, and I'll do the stipulation order for that date and time.
All right, thank you then, Mr. Murphy. Anything else we need to address with Mr. Hall's cases today?
No, Your Honor, not this time.
Other other people. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Hall. You can let them know that you are done with your hearing.
All right. Thank you,
Thank you,
Honor.
Mr. Hall. I'll be in touch with you as soon as I can, okay?
All right.
Thanks. Your Honor, I think that's all that I had scheduled. I didn't know if there was anything else that you had me down for.
No, I think we're all set, Mr. Murphy. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. You have a good day.
Is Ryan Davis?
We are waiting for Mr. Malero on Ryan Davis and Jonathan Gregory.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will be right back, Judge.
Okay.
I'm back, Judge. But it appears we're still just holding.
Yeah, we are waiting for Mr. Valero.
I think he's got one or two last cases, right? Till we wrap this up.
Correct.
Excellent. Easy enough.
We waiting on someone else, Your Honor?
We're waiting on an attorney. We've got one more person at the jail, Jonathan Gregory, but we don't have his attorney yet.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Malero, I have Mr. Davis here. Are you going to need a breakout session with him?
Yeah, you would, Judge.
All right, 1 second. We are on record in files 23-21504-FH and 23-21505-FH. People versus Ryan Edward Davis. We are here for pretrial conferences in both of those cases. We are proceeding today by video conference. First, let me have the attorneys place their appearances on the record, beginning with Mr. Fleming.
Perez Fleming appearing on behalf of the people.
Salvatore Malero on behalf of Ryan Davis.
And Mr. Malero, where do we stand with Mr. Davis's cases today?
Your Honor, I'm going to ask to adjourn these matters one more time. The basis is that there is a collateral family law matter that sort of has a bearing on this case. Mr. Davis says there's a hearing scheduled for March 1st. I think once that hearing's been concluded, I think then we can reach a resolution on these matters. That would be the basis for my request.
All right, Mr. Fleming, anything to address from the people's side?
Nothing necessarily to address, Judge. I understand where Mr. Malero is coming from, and I would not object to the adjournment at this time.
All right, so I think the better course of action is to set it for trial. At this point, it is 168 days since bindover, and trial date that I said is not going to be before that. So I want to have a hard deadline on this case so that it's not just continued indefinitely. So how long do you think you will need for a trial?
2 days, Judge, would be on the oldest file.
Let me just look how many witnesses we have listed in the 504 file, Judge. That appears to be is that the older one, Sam?
Yes, it is.
Okay, perfect. I would think probably 2 days sounds about accurate.
Okay, so Ms. McGreen, we'll need a 2-day jury trial date, and it looks like we're looking for sometime after the 1st of June.
Judge, did you say the 1st of June?
Yes. All right. Yeah, I'm sorry. You said the middle of March is the family law hearing?
March 1st, Your Honor.
March 1st?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm sorry. I should have said April, Ms. McGreen.
We could back it up to the Michael Mulholland jury trial, unless you would like a firm date, Judge.
Why don't we do that?
So that is set for Tuesday, April 2nd, Wednesday, April 3rd, and Thursday, April 4th. So any of those days.
So how about April 2nd and April 3rd, Mr. Malero, Mr. Fleming?
Let me look real quick, Judge.
Ms. McClure, the prosecutor on these, does appear to be available on the 2nd and 3rd of April, Judge.
Just a second, Judge, I'm looking. Yes, it looks good for me, Your Honor.
Okay, so we'll set the jury trial for April 2nd and 3rd. The 2nd would be 9 a.m. The 3rd would be 10:30 a.m. And let's do a final pre-trial on March 27th at 8:15.
Perfect. I assume the scheduling order is going to be instituted, Judge.
Yep, I will get that prepared and we'll send it out.
Beautiful. Thank you, Judge.
Okay, thank you. Then, Mr. Davis, your next date will be March 27th at 8:15.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Malero, will you need a breakout session with Mr. Gregory?
Please, Judge, real brief.
Okay, 1 second.
Miss Arnold signing on for Gregory, Judge.
Oh, okay, thank you.
You have a good rest of the day. I believe that's the remainder. Thank you.
Yep, thank you very much, Mr. Fleming.
And I just would point out that we would have been done probably around 9:30 if Mr. Malaro was efficient, but I'll digress. Take care.
Okay, take care. Good morning, Ms. Arnold. Mr. Malero and Mr. Gregory are in a breakout session right now.
Okay, great.
All right, we are on the record now in file 23-21584-FC, People versus Jonathan Andrew Gregory. We are here today for a pretrial conference in this case, and we are proceeding today by video conference. First, let me have the attorneys place their appearance on the record, beginning with Ms. Arnold.
Ellis and Arnold for the people.
Salvatore Malero on behalf of Jonathan Gregory.
Okay, and Mr. Malero, where do we stand with Mr. Gregory's case today?
Yeah, I'm going to ask to set the matter for a trial. I would ask the court to find a date after May 1st. There is some, the reason I'm asking that is there is still a little bit of investigation that we need to do. But I think if a trial set beyond May 1st, we would be in a position to try the case.
Okay. And Ms. Arnold, how long do you think you will need to try the case?
I think 3 days would be safe. We probably can do it in 2, but just to make sure, I don't know how many witnesses Mr. Malero is going to call.
Okay.
I would agree with 3, Judge, at least as a minimum.
3 is also a maximum.
All right, so yeah, I'm more concerned, Mr. Miller, about the high end. So, because I need to schedule enough time, is there a chance that you're going to need more time than 3 days?
You know, Judge, this case probably has some aspects that typical trials don't have. I could see it going for, but 3 is probably good.
All right, let's go with 4 to be safe. So Ms. McGrane, can you find us a 4-day jury trial date after May 1st?
But while I'm looking for that, I do see in the Register of Actions that we are waiting on a criminal responsibility report.
Yeah, I received a letter with regard to that. I'll make a record of that in just a moment.
Okay. Would you want to set it as a backup to the Wiet Silvertooth trial, or would you prefer to find a date after that?
I think probably a date after that.
It looks like our next 4-day without a day off would be starting Tuesday, June 25th. I can find a date before that, but there would be a break, for example, for Juneteenth or another day off.
Okay, does the June 25th, that'd be June 25 through June 28, does that work for Ms. Arnold and Mr. Malero?
But that works for me.
Yeah, 25th will work, Judge.
Okay. So let's set a final pretrial on June 12th at 8:15. And trial date starting June 25th, continuing through June 28th. Okay, court will issue a scheduling order. Is there anything else we need? Oh, I'm sorry. I do want to say for the record, the court, or it appears that in district court, a criminal responsibility evaluation was ordered, and we had been waiting on the result of that. The court has received a letter dated June 25th, 2024 from the Center for Forensic Psychiatry that indicates that Mr. Gregory advised he was not interested in asserting an insanity defense and did not wish to continue with the criminal responsibility evaluation. He declined to participate in the evaluation in a polite and respectful manner. He cited logical reasons, and therefore the criminal responsibility examination did not occur. It further indicates that if Mr. Gregory or Mr. Malero changes their mind, they can be re-referred for evaluation at that time. So I just wanted to make a record that that is the status of the criminal responsibility evaluation. All right, anything else we need to address today, Ms. Arnold or Mr. Malero?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
No, Judge.
All right, Mr. Gregory, you can let the officer with you know that your hearing is done. All right, thank you, everyone.